Hey everybody, Coach Mel here today. Thank you for joining me. As always, we're doing our podcast and we are also filming so that we can put it on our YouTube. So welcome to the MelFit podcast where we talk all things health, fitness, and lifestyle. I am Coach Mel. I am a personal trainer, a chef, a food prep coach, a food shopping expert, a life coach, a marathon coach, and now a magazine editor? Is that what I would call myself, Josh? I guess. Publisher. Oh, I like that even better. So lots of hats. Josh and I have many things in the works for the next few years for MelFit. So welcome to today's podcast. This podcast, I was telling Josh before we started rolling, is so super important and crucial to me because the topic of this podcast, it is travel tips, okay? I do have a video if you're on the MelFit Connect group and you search travel tips. I do have a video where I list like 40 things that you can actually take with you like on a road trip or on the plane. But today's video is more geared towards when you actually get there. And I think that most people, I'm honored for the question because it makes me feel like a lot of the clients that I'm working with on a nutrition plan, they are doing so good, but they don't want to not live their life. I don't want them to not live their life. I don't want to stop living my life. I just got back from a 3-day weekend as well. But I think they want to do the best they can with the circumstances that they are under. So what I always ask people is, are you going to have a microwave? Are you going to have a refrigerator? Like, what are the amenities? And most people have a few things. And I think I was probably most inspired years ago by a YouTube that I watched, and it was a famous MMA fighter. Gosh, what's her name? Oh, Ronda Rousey. And Ronda Rousey was just getting ready for a fight, and the fight she had to travel to get there. So as soon as she got there, her coach, the guy that was her nutrition coach, he literally ran to the store, got all her food. He was literally keeping her fueled and keeping her nutrition on point with a microwave and a hot plate and a little mini fridge. So it was just a tiny little, have you seen those, Josh? Those little square like induction burner thingies you can plug in, and you could actually pack that in your suitcase. So it's pretty standard that if you're staying in a hotel room that there is a microwave and a fridge. So I think it was really inspiring, and it really eliminated all excuses. Like, what excuse do you have? This guy is in a hotel room. He's probably rinsing his fruits and vegetables in the bathroom sink with a bottle of filtered water, and he's making this work. So I'm trying to remember what her food was. I think they had some kind of a oatmeal or some groats things they gave her, and probably some chicken and some tilapia because she was getting ready for the weigh-in. But it just goes to show a little pre-planning goes a long way. Her coach knew as soon as he got there what he needed for her. So I have a lot of people who are really dedicated to their meal plans, and they will even bring a cooler on the plane. And I know you've probably seen, if you follow bodybuilders, they will pack, frozen chicken on the plane. And a lot of people make fun of that, but I don't think there's anything to be made. I don't think there's any reason to make fun of anyone who is so dedicated to their goal that they don't even want to let travel mess it up. So I'll kind of walk you through a trip that I just took and kind of the things that I do. And my best friend and I were both online health and fitness coaches. So we kind of both have the same thing in mind when we get somewhere. I'm cooking a lot for MelFit. I am a chef. I'm creating recipes. Although I enjoy cooking, I don't want to cook every single meal for my vacation. I definitely want to go out to dinner and possibly lunch. But today's episode, I'm going to give you guys ideas for breakfast and lunch and snacks, and kind of with the intention that you will be eating out for dinner, but I will also throw some quick tips in for dinner. So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and listen up. Okay, so if I am in the United States and I'm not going through the border, I will literally grab some raw veggies to munch on. I'll chop up an apple. I'll grab the individual packages of nut butter, which anything in the convenience form is going to be a little bit more expensive, but not coming home from a trip 8 to 10 pounds heavier is priceless. Okay, so I'll do some nuts, maybe a homemade trail mix. I'll even grab a bag with some rotisserie chicken or some turkey or a chicken sausage, hard-boiled egg. So I try to gear my snacks more towards whole food if I can, and then I fill in the gaps with like bars. So the MelFit approved bars would be any bar that's dairy-free and no processed sugar and gluten-free. So we approve RX bars and Lara bars, okay? So that's kind of what we do on the plane. I always bring my 32 ounce, always bring your own water bottle. There is no need to spend $5 on water at an airport. All airports have a refillable water station, generally right outside the bathroom. So as soon as I get off the plane, I always usually have to use the restroom, and then I fill my water up. When we're on the plane, I ask Iggy, my husband, to get water, and I get water, and I might get a couple and try to drink as much as I can, or I will fill it up before I get on the plane if I have enough time and I remember, because obviously you have to dump your water out before you go through security. So some things that I pack in my suitcase. We just went on a trip and my girlfriend packed pro granola, which I thought was so smart. And I packed my collagen. I love the chocolate SR collagen, which what I love about collagen, lots of benefits, hair, skin, and nails, elasticity, the list goes on and on. But I also love that it has such a good amount of protein in it. So even if you put a scoop of collagen in your coffee, you're adding protein, which is the most satiating macro. So always bring that, and then always, unless we can get some protein powder. The problem with traveling and like going to Costco and getting a huge thing of protein powder is, are you going to use that all up, and are you going to be able to take it home? You're going to have to like finagle it in a baggie. So if you can bring your own, if that's too much to bring, then buy it. And of course, I always bring stevia. I have a habit of spilling my stevia in my purse, so I tend to travel with the packets of stevia, and my best friend always has her liquid, which we love. We always mooch off her. So those are some things that you can pack in your suitcase. I mean, obviously you don't want like your whole suitcase to be food, because there are stores where you're traveling. So those are some good things to do. So a gal that I was traveling with went ahead of me, and she asked if there was any special requests, and I just laughed and said, oh my gosh, be careful what you wish for. Drinking a MelFit skinny mocha with 1 shot of white coffee, available at the Brew Bar in Post Falls if you're local. So anyways, I got on my voice text and I just laid it on her, and I literally probably asked her to get everything I'm about to tell you guys about. And I said to her, I hope this wasn't overwhelming, and please let me know what we owe for groceries. But there was One, two. So there was 4 couples. I mean, if you divide the groceries by 4 couples, and obviously we're going to share, it's really inexpensive. So my hot tip for traveling is make sure at least your breakfast is covered. At least you're starting out with a good breakfast. Don't go have some empty calorie, high carb, pancake, waffle, crepe kind of breakfast. Start with some good protein and something that's going to sit with you for a while. So here are some things that were on my list. So I asked her to buy stuff for yogurt parfaits, which is yogurt, granola, and fruit. So blueberries, strawberries. It's really hard to find coconut yogurt sometimes when I'm traveling. So I just go to the next best thing. And the advice I would give you is just do your best. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be better than eating all your meals and snacks out. So what I generally do is just do the Greek yogurt because it has a lot of protein. So she was essentially shopping at Costco. So she got us a big thing of Greek yogurt and the plain, which we sweeten up with our stevia. We add our pro granola and we add our fruit. Now we're kind of stingy with our pro granola because it's expensive. So I requested that she buy, and I recommend this to my clients if they haven't looked ahead on their weekly nutrition menus and ordered their pro granola ahead of time. The second best thing, what you're looking for is a granola that has good macros and especially is lower in carbohydrates and lower in sugar. So I would recommend the keto granola, the blueberry one, and they have been carrying that at Costco for quite some time. So that in itself would be breakfast. And then I asked her to get some of the Sabatino's basil cracked pepper chicken sausages, and they're in a natural casing. They're not in a pork casing. So I would do the yogurt parfait and I would pair it with the chicken sausage. Just the yogurt parfait is probably going to leave you feeling hungry. So you're going to be getting a little bit of protein from the pro granola. You're going to be getting a little protein from the yogurt. You can also add a scoop of the Orgain protein and the chicken sausages. And this house that we stayed out was my friend's primary residence, and he was going to be traveling there quite a bit. So although it's kind of a vacation home, so it was worth it for us to buy the big thing of Orgain, and we ended up using it quite a bit, and I'll tell you some other things we used it for. Okay, so that's one simple breakfast. Like anybody could get up in the morning and throw together the yogurt parfait bowls, and then most Airbnbs now are stocking appliances a little bit better, and most people, it's pretty common that they're going to have an air fryer, so you can put your chicken sausages in there. If not, if you're in a hotel and the only choice you have is to use the microwave, use the microwave. If you're really prepared, maybe you do pack a small little pan and a hot plate, or you get a little pan when you're there, and maybe you just leave it or give it to someone that needs it. So as long as it's going to save you from derailing all of your efforts. Okay, so that's a breakfast number one that is kind of a staple for us when we travel. Also, what's good on that is a little drizzle of raw organic honey, especially for the people that don't like stevia. If you're not used to stevia, you can tend to get that hit of aftertaste. I don't notice it anymore because I have been, sorry you guys, because I have been using it for so long that I don't notice it. So, and then, yeah, the honey is great. So breakfast number 2, which actually this was the crowd pleaser. Breakfast number 2 is going to be the MelFit Avocado Toast. And we found a really, really good sourdough. They actually shopped at a Sprouts, I believe. And it was just, It was sourdough, but it had like almost like a bunch of seeds in it. So it was really great. So generally, if you're staying at an Airbnb, they're going to have a toaster. We had a lot of avocado toast to make. So what we did is we sprayed, that's another thing to pick up too if the household doesn't already have it. We sprayed the toast on both sides with avocado oil cooking spray, and then they actually had a good amount of spices, but if you can find maybe just a little garlic salt and maybe some pepper, go ahead and season both sides too. And then we put it on broil, and you got to watch it, and flipped it, and it made, rather than standing there and toasting 2 to 4 pieces of toast, that made it really fast. And the most important thing about the avocado toast is going to be the protein. So we had her get the sourdough, we had her get avocados, and if they are not ripe when you get them, put them in a brown paper bag in the pantry or a dark area, and they will ripen. And then I had her get some smoked salmon from Costco. It was delicious. It did have a little bit of honey, but we're on vacation, so it was excellent. And then we used that whole pack in one day. And so alternatively, I just went ahead and had her get some bacon, and I just had her get some cooked bacon. Always looking for nitrate-free, sugar-free bacon if you can find it. And so we sprayed the pan, we got a bunch of eggs going. We kind of did our eggs with some seasoning over easy. The toast was in the broiler, and then we put the bacon in the air fryer. They actually had a really nice double air fryer. Another person grabbed the avocados, and we like to kind of mash the avocados up in a bowl and add a little bit of seasoning. So if you're new to making avocado toast, the way that you assemble it is it's an open face, so you put the sourdough down, mash the avocados, then put your protein, which would either be the bacon or the salmon. And we tread really lightly with the bacon. The strips of bacon were really large, so we used one. You could cut it in half and crisscross it, or use 2 crisscrossed. And then the egg. And that is just so awesome. The guys generally did 2 pieces of avocado toast. The girls did 1 piece. One day we did 1 piece with a super small mini yogurt parfait on the side, or you could do 1 piece with maybe some cut up fruit. So hope you guys are taking notes. This is an awesome, awesome menu. So thirdly it's my most favorite thing on vacation, and I would hope that if you're staying at an Airbnb or a hotel with a little mini kitchen, they would have a decent blender. And we made the MelFit berry banana smoothie bowls, which require bananas, blueberries, protein powder, spinach, and almond milk. Okay, so what I had her do is I had her get a case of almond milk, so we could also use the almond milk for our coffee. And I had her get spinach, bananas, and then that keto granola we're also going to use for the smoothie bowls. And the key to making a smoothie bowl, it's similar to an acai bowl, but the calories and sugar are like cut in half. I believe the one I used to get was $8.50, the MelFit Berry Banana Smoothie Bowl, which if you're not on the MelFit app, you can get for free by downloading the app and being on a 7-day free trial. I believe the calories are like 4 and some change, and the sugar is way, way lower. So what you do is you freeze your bananas, and then you cut your bananas up, your frozen blueberries, your protein powder, your almond milk, your spinach, and then you whip it up, and you want it super thick, almost like an ice cream. So the key to a good smoothie bowl is going to be less is best on the milk, and just kind of blend a little bit, scrape the sides, blend a little bit, scrape the sides, and then you're going to top it with a little bit of, I left this out, the nut butter. Okay, a little bit of nut butter and a little bit of your granola. We're stingy. We gave everybody keto and had pro granola for ourselves. And then if you want to add more fruit, you can, but the bowl itself has plenty of fruit. But you could do some little thin slices of banana or a little couple extra blueberries if you wanted to. So those are 3 super, super easy to pick up ingredients breakfasts that you can do on vacation, okay? So in reference to coffee, most Airbnbs and most places you travel have a Keurig, and some of the nicer Airbnbs have Nespresso. So I would always make sure that if they have pods for you to use, great. Otherwise, pick up extra pods. Where we were staying, she had a Nespresso with a frother. So we were able to have some really nice lattes with almond milk, couple shots of espresso, and stevia, and she found a really good caramel coffee creamer too that we use. So that was a really, really nice treat. They had a swimming pool, so it was nice to just sit outside in the morning and have our coffee. So that covers breakfast. I mean, gosh, if you were there for 2 weeks, you would never tire of these 3 things. I have the MelFit Berry Banana Smoothie Bowl practically every day. Sometimes I switch it up with the Avocado Toast, but these are awesome breakfasts. So we had a big thing of eggs. So another thing you guys could do if somebody just wanted like a standard breakfast, like with eggs, bacon, and sourdough toast, you have all the ingredients for that as well, like kind of a classic American breakfast. So lots of things you can do there. So let's move on to lunches. I'm going to give you a couple of easy ideas for lunches. So the one thing that I would suggest right off the bat for lunches would be, especially if you're shopping at like Costco or if there's, I mean, most stores have turkey burgers. You're maybe not going to find turkey burgers that are as low in fat as making the MelFit turkey burgers or the ones that you can find at, say, Trader Joe's, but find the leanest turkey burgers you can. If you're new to reading labels, I always try to find the lowest amount of fat, and I try not to go over 10 grams of fat. If you're new to reading labels and you pick up beef and turkey, you're going to notice that red meat is so much higher in fat than turkey. So, I mean, if you play your cards right, you can get ground turkey, if you were to make your own burger, if it was breast, as low as 1 gram of fat. Like, that's nothing. So I would pick up turkey burgers, and I would pick up salad mixings for the side, and you can either just buy the salad packages and just go with the dressing they have, or you can go down the aisle and try to find MelFit approved dressing. The most common one that you might be familiar with is Primal Kitchens, and I believe they have a Caesar right now in the Costco, so that's really easy. So you could do the packages that they have. Sometimes they have like ornamental or one with cranberries, or you could just buy your spring mix. And we always buy a veggie tray for 2 reasons. It's easier and sometimes it's cheaper. So you always have the veggie tray to snack on, but then you can also take veggies out of there and chop it up and put it in your salad, okay? I always I'm kind of going back and forth between snacks and lunch right now because they alternate between the two. I always like to pick up thing of, sometimes they have a little mix at Costco that has like cranberries and sunflower seeds. Well, you can use that for your salads, or you can use it to snack on. Or if you pick up a thing of mixed nuts or cashews, you can chop those up and add it to your salad too. So there's a good healthy lunch right there. If you're feeling like you need a little bit more carbohydrates than that, maybe you pick up a bag of sweet potatoes. And if you are somewhere where there's an air fryer, you can make some MelFit Talia's Airfryer Fries. And although the air fryer is intended to not add oil, I actually like to add a little bit of olive oil. It does crisp them up. So you've got your olive oil and some seasonings. Again, the recipe's free on the MelFit app for 7 days. So that would be a good lunch. And then I'll mention a couple condiments you may want to pick up. And a real easy kit you can get. A lot of times they'll have a mayo mustard relish kit. It may not be the MelFit avocado oil mayo, but it's something you can grab and use for a lot of meals that's cost effective. I would hate to have you spend a lot of money on the Chosen Foods mayo and then not use it all. But if you guys have a large group and you are going to use it, I would grab it. So I'll just kind of leave it up to you there. But I would get mayo, relish, and mustard. And the other thing you can do really quickly is a quick tuna or chicken salad. If you have access to some spices, you can do the MelFit curry chicken salad. It does have golden raisins in it, but if you bought the sunflower seed, it has golden raisins and sliced almonds in it. If you bought the sunflower seed cranberry mixture they have, it's like a salad topper thing, you could throw that in there. So go ahead and buy the wild albacore tuna, and you can either buy rotisserie chicken or canned chicken, and you can throw together some really nice quick chicken or tuna salads. You could just do some mayo and some relish and some seasonings. Very, very easy. So what pairs nicely with that is you could do a chicken salad sandwich or a tuna salad sandwich. You've already got the sourdough for the avocado toast. So sourdough is very kind of dense and thick. It's not the greatest cold. So I would recommend toasting the bread on that one. Especially if there's a panini press there, or if there's an air fryer, I would heat the sandwich up that way. Maybe you have some people in the house that are still doing dairy. Maybe you get some cheese for them. I kind of just try to stay away from it altogether. I know charcuterie is all the rage, but I've worked so hard to get my gut clean. And by the way, the MelFit Gut Flush Plan is now available on the app if you need any spring cleaning. But yeah, that just kind of sets me behind and just kind of stops up my system. Nobody's losing weight eating dairy. So another thing you could pair for that, let's say somebody wanted something a little lighter. Maybe they had the avocado toast for lunch and they felt like that was just a little bit too much bread or carbs. It might be a pool day. They might not be getting a lot of movement in. Another thing you can do is you can throw that over a salad, or you can add and maybe add a few almond crackers too, or just do the salad with almond crackers. So those are a couple of really good, easy lunches that you can do. Okay, so dinner, I'm assuming most people will eat out. But just in case there is a day where, you don't feel like getting ready, I'll give you a couple of my, the best thing to do is to just grab protein and a veggie, okay? That's super easy. So what I think is like, you've already got your raw veggies and you've got your salad. How about something different? Maybe you pick up a pack of portobello mushrooms and a zucchini squash mixture from Costco. Slice it up, drizzle some olive oil. And that's another thing, if the house doesn't have, you may want to invest in a smaller thing of olive oil. If you're finding that things are too big at Costco, go take the time to go to 2 stores, get the bulk of your stuff at Costco, and then go to another store. You could even go to the dollar store and get a small thing of olive oil. You could go to the dollar store and get your spices, your garlic powder, your Himalayan sea salt, your cracked pepper, maybe a little paprika. Paprika is always good on the fries. So protein, veggie, again, under 10 grams of fat. So I would think like maybe they have a barbecue outside for you to use. So you could either toss the veggies and put them in the air fryer or the oven, or you can grill them on the barbecue. And the fun thing is, if there's aluminum foil there, you can make like little veggie packs so everybody can have their own individual pack. Maybe you add some carrots and Walla Walla sweet onions in there, just whatever vegetables you like, broccoli, cauliflower, whatever you like. And then for the protein, what comes to my mind, if you like shrimp cooks really fast. I would, same thing, drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil and some seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic, maybe paprika, and either put it on some foil or maybe you skewer it. And maybe chicken breast is always good to grill. If you're going to do burgers, I would grab ground turkey and ground beef, mix it together. That'll lower the fat a little bit. Flank steak, if you're going to do red meat, is probably the lowest in fat. I would allow that. And a good marinade for flank steak, if there's some coffee there, you can kind of put some coffee grounds around it and maybe kind of go towards the sweet side with it. A little bit of cinnamon and paprika, maybe cayenne pepper kind of thing. Whatever you would want to grill. Maybe some people are fans of pork. Maybe you get a lean pork loin. What else is good on the grill, Josh? Fish. Not that Josh can have fish, but salmon's always great on the grill. Any kind of fish is great on the grill. So that's always an easy dinner. If someone had to run in and get that, that's a protein and your vegetables. If you feel like you need some carbs on the dinner, again, you've got those sweet potatoes. Maybe you season those up, wash them, poke them with holes, season those up, and make some sweet potatoes. And maybe you pick up a little bit of grass-fed butter if you can't find ghee. And if people want sour cream, if you've got the Greek yogurt, you could use the Greek yogurt for that. So I'm a real fan of trying to make all these ingredients kind of mix and match and work together. And the goal is to not have anything left over, because as expensive as food is, what's going to happen is you can't generally pack it with you, and either the maids are going to get it or it's going to go on the garbage, which is such a shame. So I wanted to get on to some snacks. What we did a lot was a charcuterie board. So some things that we used for our charcuterie board, I requested that the host get several rotisserie chickens, and I think she plucked them before we got there, or Costco sells rotisserie chicken already shredded. And that was really nice because she would warm it up in the air fryer for us, and you could either use your Primal Kitchen Caesar that you got, or you could get some, I think salsa is always great for anything. If you've got some healthy rice crackers or healthy almond crackers, maybe you splurge and get some organic corn chips from Costco. Salsa is always great to have. Maybe a little salsa for the people that are having the eggs. Another thing you could do for breakfast is an omelette. That's always great. You've got spinach, you've got the salmon, you've got the bacon. So you could do that. If you've never heard of this already, although I'm not a huge fan of plastic, but you got to do what you got to do. But you can buy the sous vide baggies, and they are like heat proof, so you won't be eating your plastic. But it's really fun. You have everybody crack their ingredients, like 1 or 2 or 3 eggs in there, a little almond milk, have them put their seasoning, have them put a little bit of salmon or a little bit of bacon or a little bit of chicken. They can add some spinach. They can add some peppers from the veggie tray. Maybe you've got some mushrooms or some veggies left over from one of your grilled dinners, and then you put all the baggies. You write on the baggie with a magic marker, and you put all the baggies in kind of a medium boil pot, and they turn out to be this yummy, fluffy, awesome omelet. And then of course you've got your avocados, so you can top it with that, and you've got your Greek yogurt, you can top it with that, and then you've got your salsa, so you can top it with that, or pico de gallo. They've always got great salsas at Costco. Tillamook zero sugar jerky. Red meat is so expensive right now, so that's definitely a nice treat for vacation. Something else that they put on the charcuterie boards this weekend that was kind of nice is we have dessert every day on MelFit, so she had bought some bags of those like Brookshire chocolate covered blueberries, or they had some chocolate covered almonds, dark chocolate, and they put those in the charcuterie board. So just be real portion controlled. I would eat all of my protein and all my good stuff, and then I'd have a few of those. So that was a nice treat. Definitely put your veggie tray out. Bitchin' sauce is a great dip, or guacamole for crackers and raw veggies. Bitchin' sauce is always a great deal at Costco. If you're buying the smaller one at, say, health food store or your local grocery store, you're really paying too much, because you can, for just like $1 or $2 more, you can get the large one. Fruit always makes a great snack. We cut up apples one day and we had them with our avocado toast. You can have apples as a snack. You've got the nut butter for the MelFit berry banana smoothie bowls, so you can dip your apples in those. If you have kids, that's a good snack. Great for the charcuterie board. Any in-season fruit, cherries, oranges. Of course, you're going to have the bananas for the smoothie bowl. And last but not least on here, I wrote hard-boiled eggs. Costco has been carrying individually wrapped hard-boiled eggs, which is so awesome, and they're even organic, so that's a great snack. If you do purchase the hard-boiled eggs, you can also throw those in your chicken salad or your tuna salad, and that'll add a little bit of extra protein. So so lots of great ideas here, you guys. I can't emphasize the most about focusing everything you do around protein, whether it be your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, or your snack. Choose your protein first. Then you want to have an adequate amount of fiber, vegetables, and then you want to have your carbohydrate, but it doesn't need to make up the majority of your plate. But having that rotisserie chicken when you've got low blood sugar, I mean, it's just amazing. It's like, grab a few hunks of that, dip it in some salsa, dip it in the guac, dip it in the bitchin' sauce. How are we doing on time, Josh? We're doing good?
Yep.
All right. Just like always when I ask Josh what time it is, I did set a timer, but I want to try to keep these podcasts at around 40 minutes or so that you guys can, most importantly, don't sit and listen to the podcast or sit and watch the podcast. I would encourage you to go on a walk, and hopefully I, with my words of wisdom and my hot tips, inspired you on your 40 plus minute walk. So what are we at for time, Josh?
37.
We're right in there. Okay, so awesome, guys. So I hope you're taking notes, and I hope this really helped you, even if you can just get that breakfast in there. So the one thing that I added to on here, you guys, are tips and tricks that I've done through the years to prevent weight gain on vacation. And I have to tell you that when you get to your goal weight and you gain weight, especially for me, because I'm pretty petite, it would take me 6 weeks or more to get vacation weight off. And I'm talking anywhere from 5 to 8 pounds. I got so tired of, I kind of have I've maintained for over 20 years now. I kind of have a stay ready body and a stay ready attitude. I don't really want to have to kill myself to get ready for vacation. I've done that way too much in my life. So not to say that I might not do my shred right before my trip, but I work so hard to get what I have. I hated having to fix things. So what I'm sharing with you today is how I can, weigh 111 pounds on Friday and go on vacation, and by next Friday still weigh 115. I may be carrying a little bit of inflammation from traveling and maybe having a free day when I was on vacation. We did splurge and have a little bit of pizza on our free day and some cocktails. And I do know my body, and with traveling, I'll hold that inflammation. So I usually try to wait until about Friday after my trip to weigh myself. But I know I'll be right back, because for me, it's business as usual. It's What do I have in my house? I have at least smoothie bowl stuff. I have a list going right after this. I'm going to hit Costco. I'm going to get stocked up. I'm going to get my food prep on. And so there's no reason I should have any weight gain on vacation. So hopefully these tips help you guys not have this yo-yo battle that I've had my whole life with gaining and losing and gaining and losing. So my number one tip for vacation would be to drink plenty of water. If you are going to be doing cocktails, oh, my watch just buzzed. Awesome, guys. So we're just at 40 minutes. Do one cocktail, one glass of water, one cocktail, one glass of water. And what I do at home is I always drink 32 ounces of water while I'm having my coffee. And then I try to drink another 32 ounces of water while I'm working out. And then the rest of the day, I'm working on the last 32 ounces of water. So that's close to, for me, I'm at my height and weight, it's about 100 ounces of water. Lots of water. If you're in a hot climate, you're going to sweat it out. So if you're eating a few things that are off plan or are inflammatory, the water is going to help kind of flush things out. Okay. So my number 2 tip would be to move every day doing a workout. Like, people that go on vacation and don't work out, like, I'm baffled by it. I ran into a couple of my clients one year. We were in Puerto Vallarta, and I thought for sure that they would love having their personal trainer on vacation with them. It was quite the opposite. I think they were offended because that's just what they did. Well, I saw their habits. They weighed in every week at my studio, so I knew that this was not doing them any favors. They literally both sat in the same spot the whole time and never moved. So had they taken advantage of my free personal training on vacation, and I make it fun. We do beach workouts, we do pool workouts. So do your workout every day, even if it's just a quick one, and make sure you walk. If something is in walking distance, walk. I mean, if you've rented a car, try to walk as much as you can, and try to at least get 10,000 steps a day and one workout while on vacation. Prioritize that in the morning and then plan your day. Don't jump out the door on your excursion without addressing what workout. If the excursion is a workout, then great, then count that as your workout. Okay. So I would alternate. We do usually one pool day and one active day, or one beach day and one active day. So don't sit around at the pool with, if you're at an all-inclusive place or any place, and just lay. Okay. That's going to pack some pounds on. So I put on here, take only one free meal. If you're on vacation for 7 days and you're used to being on a MelFit nutrition plan where you get one free day a week, I mean, it's way more than you would get if you were home. So if you had a great breakfast, you had a great lunch, you had healthy snacks, and you got your workout walks and water in, then just take your dinner as your freedom. And enjoy it, okay? And I honestly think that when you get back, you'll be fine. And then limit your alcohol. Stick to clear alcohol, club soda, lemons and limes. Stay away from wine, which grapes are sugar, champagne, sugary, although it's only 100 calories and nice and light. But I mean, your best bet, even Malibu is naturally flavored. So a really good tequila, coconut tequila, is really nice on the rocks with some lime. So just keep it really nice and light. Or mojitos, you can ask for no bar sour or sugar. A lot of places I've traveled, I haven't made any adjustments to the mojitos. And you can really tell a good mojito doesn't need a lot of sugar, so sometimes those are light enough. And always bring your stevia to sweeten your cocktails up a little bit if you need it. And last but not least, if it's possible, go to bed early. If there's a lot of people in your party that are staying up till 12, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, I mean, a few days of that and you're not going to feel like working out. So even if you're the party pooper, I've done it. I just go to bed. And most importantly, pack your earplugs so that the people that are staying up, and maybe they're not necessarily drinking, but they might be playing pool, or they might be talking or playing loud music. That way you can get rested. Because if you are used to going to bed at 9:30 like I am, and you night after night of your trip stay up till 12:30, when you get home it's going to take you so long to try to kind of get your energy back. So I'm super excited about this podcast today. I think it's going to be watched a lot because this is the number one question that I seem to be getting asked recently from people is, can you give me some travel tips? So I hope this addresses what you guys were thinking. I will maybe do a part 2 and a part 3. And what I will do for the part 2 would maybe be to touch on those 40 items that you can actually pack with you. And that would probably be geared more towards, don't you think, more like a road trip, Josh? Obviously, where you can, you're not going to want to pack all that stuff on the plane or pack it in your suitcase. But yeah, that would be more like a road trip. So I'll do a follow-up to this for some good, easy road trip ideas. And I think that was pretty good. So hopefully you guys got a lot out of that. And once you kind of get used to this, you can maybe just store this grocery list in your phone. And with all the services, maybe you're staying somewhere where they have a concierge grocery service and they get their groceries. You can just shoot them this list. Or maybe you are staying somewhere where somebody wants to know what you want. And I know that they're asking you this wholeheartedly. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck with whatever they're eating. And if you're not on the same path, you're going to be frustrated. What if it's some greasy breakfast where they drown the potatoes in oil and it's high carbs, lots of pancakes, waffles, syrups? You're going to be unhappy. And number 3, for instance, when I go to my stepdaughter's, if she didn't go get my groceries for me, which she does, I love her, I would call ahead and have Costco deliver all this stuff. So there's lots of options to set you up. So don't get there, get excited, and start going back into the whole vacation being a free-for-all. Try to do some pre-planning. So it's been amazing connecting, inspiring, and motivating you guys. And for everybody listening on the podcast or the YouTube viewers, I appreciate you guys being here. Subscribe and share the show. And I hope you guys enjoy my MelFit travel tips. And we'll see you guys on the next podcast. Bye-bye.